I served in the kindergarten classes of East Bernard Elementary in East Bernard, Texas. The mission statement declares that all students will develop essential academic skills and acquire a knowledge base upon which to build lifelong learning. Citizenship, economic responsibilities, heritage, logic, independence, creativity, and communication shall be emphasized. In order to fulfill the mission, instruction must be of the highest quality, equity must be maintained for all students, and educators shall be accountable for results. As an East Bernard ISD alum, I can attest that the school system does a great job of achieving these goals. The educators in East Bernard are genuinely dedicated to serving the students to make the best better, a long-term motto of the school. The school I called home for 13 years also has a very deep history. In 1933, President Franklin D Roosevelt enacted the Administration of Public Works. The Public Works Administration budgeted billions of dollars to be spent on building things such as schools, factories, and other buildings to promote economic stability by creating new jobs, stabilizing purchasing power, and contributing to the revival of American industry. One of these projects was East Bernard High School, which was built in 1939. As the school district continued to develop, the junior high school and the elementary school were established on the same street as the original high school. Going to school in a piece of history was very unique. I was interested in volunteering for East Bernard Elementary because I grew up in the organization. I even went to kindergarten in the exact same classroom that I got to spend most of my volunteer time. Even though this organization does not directly impact my ultimate career goal of becoming an occupational therapist, I thought that working with children in a volunteer setting such as this one would be very rewarding nonetheless. I chose to volunteer in my hometown based on social commitment to the future of the town and school district. As a student in the district, I grew up with volunteers in the classroom that inspired me to want more for myself. For example, my kindergarten helper Crystal. I looked up to her and everything she did. She was very motivating, and she inspired me to want to continue my education, even if I was just in kindergarten. In volunteering, I hope that I have inspired at least one student, just as Crystal inspired me when I was that age. When I arrived at the organization for my first day of volunteering, I was greeted by the principal of the elementary school. Because I was already familiar with the school, we skipped the typical tour, and I was able to begin volunteering right away. I volunteered in Miss Marik's kindergarten class. While volunteering, I helped students complete work, read books, and even helped with reading groups. My favorite part about the volunteer experience was getting to interact with the kindergartners. When looking at the students through Mead's 3 stages of development, I found that these children are in the play stage, the stage by which people pretend to be other people. An example of this would be the kindergartners playing dress-up, or even with other toys, such as the kindergartner's favorite center, Little People. This project was eye-opening to the socialization of young people. I found that being socialized into a kindergarten classroom 13 years ago is not much different than it is now. The children have the same agents of socialization. These include family, the school, peers, and even mass media. I learned more from the kindergartners than they could have possibly learned from me. I learned that increasingly my community is becoming more diverse in ethnicity, religion, and culture, which was once predominantly white and Christian. I have also learned that my town is not always openly accepting to those who are different from ourselves. My social responsibility is to promote the acceptance of each of these diverse areas. In working with children, it was my duty to learn about these areas as they pertain to the student, to promote the well-being of the child by teaching based on their own ethnic, culture, and religious experiences. For example, in class there is a child who is Jehovah Witness. She should not be expected to do the same activities or read the same books as the other children, if they are against her beliefs, such as books about the Easter Bunny. Also, you can see that biases and prejudices are learned behaviors, because in the kindergarten classroom, the children see themselves the same as everyone else, no matter what the color of their skin is or their religious beliefs. Overall, my experience at East Bernard Elementary was not only educational, but fulfilling and full of laughter. I would love to continue to help serve this organization in the future. Thanks, and